lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here.
Stretch words like T-4 minutes.
Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here.
Stretch words like T-3 minutes.
But I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here.
Stretch words like T-2 minutes.
They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here.
Stretch words like T-1 minute.
No fear, they talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here.
T-50 seconds.
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here.
T-40 seconds.
But I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk, lives right here.
T-30 seconds. Stretch words like T-20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
They talk loud, but I'm still here.
Okay, guys, thank you for being here. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Once the show gets started with the press conference, I will not be stopping it. So I'm going to say everything that I need to say right now, because once it gets started, which will be in the next 7 minutes, I'm just going to let it play. I'm not going to stop the press conference. So let me just acknowledge some people in here. Parte Capricorn, thank you for the gems. The 10 gems. Miss Nisi 2953, thank you for the 1,000 gems. Nurse M1, thank you for your 10 gems. Hottish Harris, Hortisha Harris, 94.95, thanks for the 200 gems. And Katrina Smart, thank you guys for the gems. I appreciate it. Now, as I stated, once it gets started, I'm not going to stop. So let me just say everything I have to say now. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure you enable your bell notification. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And the number one thing I ask you guys to do is like the video, share the video. There are 3 ways to support the channel. Some people have sent gems. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. The other ways is, as always, you can I can't even talk. You can send your comment in the form of a chat. And generally people do that if they have a question or something they want to say that they want me to really read, because a lot of times there's so many comments, I just randomly pick them. So if you want to super chat a question, you can do that. You can just super chat, period. You can do that. Also, if you guys want, you can go ahead and join our membership group, where I do members only videos. And the way that I like the donations is really any way that y'all send them, but Cash App, I prefer. I mean, but again, however you do, if you do watching the video, you are, supporting the channel by doing that as well. But you can also Cash App, and it's money sign at Lakeysha Keysha. So I will not be reading your comments as the video is, once the press conference starts, but I will do it after, the press conference. So I don't want to stop it to read your comments. So we'll be getting started shortly. You guys are just coming in. The one thing that I ask that you can do is make sure you're liking the video. We're going to get started shortly. We got about 4 minutes before it started. I just wanted to gather everybody to get you guys in here before it actually gets started. So we got about 4 more minutes. Give me a second here. Let me check on some things. Actually, I can play some music before it gets started. So it's going to get started here shortly. Just give me a second.
Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear. But I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like
no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still.
So if you guys are just coming in, we're just waiting for the press conference to get started. Make sure you guys are liking the video. And once it gets started, we got about 3 minutes. We're going to, like I said, we're just going to let it play. We won't be interrupting it at all, but you guys can go ahead and like the video. We're just waiting for it to get started here. And then we're going to jump right into the press conference. And of course, if you guys want to support the channel, you can Cash App at Lakeysha Keysha. I went this morning because I was like, okay, I know I'm, going to get started. I'm normally up early, okay, to just because I'm up early, but I normally don't do videos this damn early. Oh, I'm not going to get into it, but somebody said strangulation. That was in my, I got to talk about this comment. Somebody put in the comments, strangulation. why I could not sleep last night, and that has just kept coming up in my mind. That just kept coming up in my mind. But we're going to see, you know, we don't need to speculate anymore because the press conference is going to pretty much address everything that, you know, we've been trying to find out as it relates to this case. But you said strangulation, and for some reason that just kept coming up in my mind last night. And I was just like, why am I feeling like this? And also, if you guys don't know, what is his name? Warren has come out and has done a press conference. As a matter of fact, while we wait, y'all want to watch that? Let's watch that really quickly. Let's watch that. Because Warren now has come out and did a press conference, and people are thinking that he did this press conference, obviously, because he knows that this is coming out today. What kind of friend are you? You don't speak on your friend, but you're all giving press conferences.
Y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women, you probably had alcohol. So y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You know, you guys out there, the friend groups out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They, in a group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish.
Y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-old.
So this is the press conference that this so-called friend, well, I shouldn't say a press conference. It's not a press conference, but he pretty much went on this guy's podcast.
Why?
And it's a bunch of bullshit. But, you know, as we can see, he literally went on here to damage control.
Went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach. And why I drove the boat from Fort Bayou boat launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all plan to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us, and so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan,
and Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou boat launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all plan to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us, and so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn.
I see your comment. Yes, we know that he drove the boat. We actually know that he drove the boat. But how interesting is this, that you come out and want to talk about your friend that they just buried him, had his funeral. We know that your ass didn't show up to that. You haven't had any conversations with his mother, but now the day before the autopsy is released, you want to do a damn press conference. Yeah, we knew that he had some kind of control of the boat.
Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan.
This dude, Officer Tatum, is an idiot. Nobody said that it was just him and Nolan. We saw the pictures. The pictures show that it was a great amount of people there. So nobody thought that it was just Nolan and him. That is what everybody has stated this entire time. How is there that he goes out on a trip with so many people and nobody saw him? I mean, who thought that it was just Nolan and a few friends? I mean, have you been following this case? The press conference has not started, so I'm just, doing this until it starts. I'm actually checking from another device, so it's not starting. So we'll just continue to do commentary on this video.
And Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which.
So I don't know what y'all think about this. This is some bullshit. I mean, what made you come out and speak now? Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Right. He can't speak to his best friend's mom, but you want to randomly do interviews about nothing. This is gibberish. And this is nothing but clickbait. If you look at the title, the guy says, actually, this guy, Officer Tatum, he released little snippets. And then he tells you to comment Nolan in the chat and he will DM you the link. What kind of clickbait shit is that? Right. Officer Bootlick Tatum. Somebody called him Officer Race Batum. It's just like, this is so stupid. This guy, Officer Tatum, he wanna be seen so damn bad it don't make sense. He literally says, let me show y'all the part where he say, comment, and I had to listen, I was hungry, so I had to grab me something. Like, listen, I be up early, but I don't be up talking. So y'all look at this one where he say, look, it says right here, let me show y'all, comment Nolan. He's looking for engagement on this bullshit. These are the black folks that I don't like, by the way, people like him. Comment Nolan and I'll DM you the link. What kind of weird shit is that? Why do you got to comment Nolan? Y'all have to put my drink like way behind me because I'll knock it off my table. I'm a little clumsy. But yes, that is lemonade light from Chick-fil-A because I feel like I just been eating a little bit too much sugar. So I got to get back on my shit here. Yes, that is lemonade light. I drink the regular lemonade, but I'm like, girl, your sugar, you got to keep the sugar down. Yeah, this dude, I don't follow him. I just saw that, this new interview that he did. This is Officer Raccoon ass Tatum, Race Batum bullshit. This guy is full of shit. This whole interview, again, I don't have it because he wants you to DM Nolan. He's looking for engagement on his Instagram. Yeah, so again, I've only saw this particular clip. Yeah, he's trying to get profit. Exactly. Comment Nolan and I'll send you the link. Yeah, they haven't started yet. I'm looking at it on my other device. It just says starting soon, starting soon. So we'll just keep going until they start. But I am monitoring it on my other device. So yeah, it hasn't started yet. It hasn't started. Right. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said he wants you to pay for it. Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. Well, I guess he'll find a couple of fools because from what I gather, these clips that he posted, that's probably the best that he has because you want to entice people to buy this bullshit. It's pretty much what he wants to do. I wouldn't buy it. Thank you for the 200 gems, designer, decorum. I'm going to go back after the stream ends and just, acknowledge you guys for your gems. I just don't want to do it right now because I don't want to start talking and then have to abruptly stop. Okay. So I will go back and do that again. Yeah, this is some crap. Like, these are the type of people that'll do anything for money, like anything for a few dollars. Like, come on now. You got to have some dignity and some respect. You sitting down with him, you couldn't even believe the shit he's saying. I mean, it's something called, you know, to have some kind of morality. I mean, you're sitting down with a stranger, but you couldn't even reach out to his mom. You couldn't even have a conversation with his mom to tell his mother what happened. But you're sitting down with a stranger. He need his A-whoop. Is really what he need. He really need his A-whoop. I'm just gonna say what it is. He really need his good old. He need a good old fashioned A-whoop. That's what he needs. I'm a little on edge too. Somebody said I'm so nervous too, y'all. Yeah, I think that we just gonna wait to, you know, hear what they say. But I think they put hands around his neck. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Right, his whole channel disparages the Black community. I don't even know why people watch shit like that. Let the white folks have channels like that. I am not going to subscribe or watch nobody. You say it just started. Let's see. It didn't start. I'm watching it right here. Somebody said it just, oh, okay, it did just start. Okay, here we go. There we go. Share screen. Thank you to the person in the chat. It was just coming to me a little bit later. But once it gets started, guys, I'm just gonna let it roll. If you guys are just coming in, or if you guys have not liked the video, please do me a favor and make sure you are liking the video. I highly appreciate it. What do you guys think that the autopsy is going to reveal? Let me know in the chat. The state has not released the autopsy. For the people in the chat, the state of Mississippi have not released anything. So what you're watching is Attorney Ben Crump. They got an independent autopsy. This is what we're watching. We have nothing from the state. Okay, nothing has been released from the state. Nothing. We have nothing from the state. How crazy is that? Nothing from the state, but they sent his body to DC, which arrived this past weekend, and we have a report in what, 3-4 days? Come on now. They playing in our faces. Well, what we do know, guys, is that Nolan's mom is gearing up to sue them. And we'll talk about that after, you know, the stream, after their press conference ends. Somebody said blunt trauma. They abuse his body. Yeah. I mean, what we do know is that the mother, Christine, filed paperwork to legally take over his estate and assist with any lawsuits as it relates to a death claim. And then she just did this a couple of days ago. All right, guys, like I said originally, if you're just coming in, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not, and also enable your bell notification. So this is being held at the NAACP in Chicago. And if you guys send any super chats or any gems, I'm just going to read it at the end. I just don't want to get started reading it, and I don't know, when they're going to start. So whatever you guys send, it'll be acknowledged at the end. So I'll just read them all over again. Somebody said Ben is always late. Maybe it don't got nothing to do with Ben. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that Officer Tatum. Ooh, child, I don't know what that is. That man is crazy. Just creating content off of a damn grift. Just there's so many real things to talk about than be on here with this bullshit. Burnt, beating, and badly bruised. Somebody says, what happened? We are looking at the press conference from Nolan Wells, the 18-year-old. That body was found on Lake Horn. And it's early, just so you guys know. So it's 9:15 for me, but it is 8. It's 8, so it's much earlier, about an hour earlier in Chicago. Here we go, backdrop ready. Got to get everything the way that it's supposed to be. Ooh, 2:15 p.m. London. Hey, London. Officer Tatum is a nobody. He's a professional grifter. He's a Black man who uses Black people pain to his profitability. He's a nobody. Nobody. It's 6:15 in Cali. 6:15 p.m. What time is it in Cali? Yes, it is 8:15 a.m. in Chicago. Absolutely. Now I know that. Somebody said Officer Tatum married to a white woman. we are not surprised, okay? We are not surprised that Officer Race Tatum, Grifter Tatum, we're not surprised. They can have him. Nobody wants him. Anybody can have him. Come on now, Ben. Come on now, Ben Crump. Uh-oh, here we go, y'all. How to get started.
Good morning. Good morning. If everyone can take your seat, we'll get started with the press conference in roughly 2 minutes. If everyone can take your seats, we'll get ready to get started in roughly 2 minutes. Thank you.
One other thing, guys, I want to say before we get started. Sometime when we broadcast these things, the volume will reduce. You have to turn your volume up. Just like I have to turn mine up. Make sure you adjust your volume if it gets low, okay? So just remember that. Just so you guys know. And again, I'm just going to repeat this because I know people join at different times. Once it starts, I will not stop it. I will not be interjecting. I will save all my commentary after it ends, okay? So I will not be doing anything but taking notes. That's the only thing I'll be doing.
It's about to start in 1 minute. Yep. tap in for some, but once I can frame it, I'll be back.
So they said, guys, it's going to be starting in about 2 minutes. So we just going to wait until it gets started. Whatever you guys put in the chat, I'll read it after the conference. Well, they sure taking forever. Come on with it now, Ben Crump. Come on with it. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button, guys. Let's keep this going.
You never know what might happen. I better have a fan here.
So we are just waiting, guys, on the autopsy here. Hopefully they get started shortly. I call myself starting a little bit early, but hey, you know, they running a little bit late. What are you guys saying in the chat? Oh, somebody said cooking and frying. I'm bored. So if you guys send in like super chats and stuff like that, I will be acknowledging that. If you send in cash apps, I will be acknowledging that. All right, guys, look like we're about to get started. Make sure you are liking the video, hit the thumbs up, share the stream. I will do my commentary after this press conference is over.
Good morning. My name is Trevon Williams, Senior Vice President of Marketing Communications with the NAACP. We are here because a demand was made. Demand for transparency, a demand for answers, and a demand for ultimate justice on behalf of Nolan Wells. And that demand must be honored. For that, we are honored to pause even for a moment to respond accordingly here at our national convention. Momentarily, you will hear from renowned civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who will provide updates on the findings of the independent autopsy that was conducted in the death of Nolan Wells. Immediately following that, we will take questions from credentialed media. We'll attempt to answer as many questions as we can. However, we want to be respectful of the fact that we do have additional programming that is going on to conclude our convention today as well. So we're asking that all press and media, if you're asking questions, please be concise. Give your name, give your media credential, and we'll go from there. But before he comes, we will have the leader of the NAACP, President Derek Johnson, to give opening remarks. President Johnson.
Good morning. Far too often, our young people are confronted with challenges, and many jurisdictions and states don't take those challenges serious. We cannot allow another individual, particularly a young Black man's death, go uninvestigated. We have seen this happen over the years, not only in Mississippi, but across the country. It is unfortunate that our young people only seek to enjoy life. And as a result of participating in activities, no longer have life. For the NAACP, we take this and many other cases serious because every person matters. I want to thank the Mississippi State Conference, particularly Alicia Perryman, for working with the family and supporting the family on their onset. Because it's difficult to lose a loved one, it's even more difficult to navigate a process when all eyes are on you. And the pressure of balancing between grieving and navigating is upon you. And so within ACP family, this is our role, is to step in, to support when the families have an issue like this and the local officials seem not to hold people accountable. It's unfortunate when you see news reports and law enforcement officials are repeating what individuals are saying, as opposed to investigate the individuals who gave you the information, because you don't know who was involved or not involved. And so narrative matters in this case. And we're saying that in Nolan Wales' situation, the narrative should not be it was an accident before there was an investigation. The narrative should not be the words of individuals who went on a boat to the island with him, but they came without him, but with his cell phone, and you don't investigate those individuals. We're not accusing anyone of anything other than the state of Mississippi and local officials. We're accusing them of being derelict in their duties to follow up and to ensure that regardless of what happened, that there was a proper investigation so that this family and that community could be assured that if anyone was involved, they would be held accountable. And if it was truly an accident, that the families will have the necessary answers that any family deserves in this situation. I want to bring to the podium Attorney Benjamin Crump, a friend of mine who have stepped in to take the case and in support of the family to ensure that they get the answers that they deserve and that local officials and anyone involved will be held accountable to this family, to that system, because we are all parents, siblings, to loved ones who should not be confronted with this reality. Attorney Crump.
Thank you very much, President Derrick Johnson, for your leadership, for the leadership of the Mississippi Conference of NAACP, and being there during the homegoing services to help the family go through what no parents want to go through. Thank you to Chairman Leon Russell, my longtime mentor from Florida, who helped raise so many of us. Thank you for always being there, Chairman Russell. As President Johnson said, I'm Attorney Ben Crump, representing the family of Nolan Wales, but it's not just me, it is a team effort of incredible, dedicated lawyers and investigators and paralegals. Attorney Lisa Park, attorney who you'll hear from in a few minutes, Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐿𝐻, Attorney Camila Moore, Cliff Jones, Jared Preston, Alan Williams, our whole team of people who are committed, as I said, President Johnson, on this ferocious search for the truth of what really happened to Nolan Wales. But before we begin to discuss the intricacies of the preliminary findings of the independent autopsy, we think it would be appropriate for you all to hear from the people who knew Nolan Wales best, so they can thank you themselves and tell you about the trials and tribulations that they have been enduring since July 4th. July 4th would never be the same for them. I bring to the podium Nolan Wales' mother and father, Christine and Elmore. Please give them a warm NAACP welcome.
First of all, I want to say thank you all so much. Thank you to President Johnson as well as Chairman Russell. This has been a difficult journey. Losing a child, it truly breaks your heart. It is a pain that is just you can't measure it. Especially someone like Nolan, who brought so much joy and light and life to everyone. You don't find too many genuine people like him. So to lose that light at such a young age under these circumstances has been absolutely difficult, which is why we've gone this route. There's so many people out in the public asking all of these questions, but the only question that we have is what happened to our son. That is the only question. We have consistently been degraded by the public. There's been questions about our parenting, our GoFundMe, this, that, and other. I've been called a racist. I am a healthcare provider, and I take my job very seriously. I love everyone. And it's been difficult for us, but we are leaning into our faith, leaning into one another, also leaning into all of you. There are not enough thank yous, not enough appreciation for what you guys have done for us. And we do. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. And so it is our hope that our local authorities will do what they need to do, because us having the preliminary autopsy results and hearing nothing from them, it's heartbreaking and it's concerning, which again is why we are here, why we have asked for this help. So again, thank you all so much for your support. We appreciate you, we really do.
Every day I wake up, it's a new challenge. Knowing that a part of me I will never talk to, I will never hold, I will never play around with or get mad at, it's not here anymore. Nolan brought a lot of joy to our family. He was the wittiest one out of everyone. The clown. He loved to put in the work because he wanted to be the best. He wanted to make me and his mother proud, and we were so proud of him just for being the person that he was. He was loving. All his teachers knew him, but loved him. He walks in the room, his aura, you are automatically drawn to it. Never met an enemy. And if they were, they would eventually be friends, because they would eventually bond, and it's gonna be hard. He should be at football practice right now, calling me after practice, Dad, I made this play, or I made that play, or I get a text with 3 or 4 videos of him doing this, running this route, making this block, and what you think I should do? And I will give my honest, because I always tell them, if anyone is going to be totally honest with you, it's going to be me. It's not because I'm being mean, but people outside your family are going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to know to make you better. It's going to be hard for our family from here on out. And like I said, every day is a challenge. We're going to miss our son. And like my wife said, we just want honesty. We want to know what happened to our son, because the things that you're telling us, that's not the character of our son. We know our son. I understand, our children would do things that, they would kind of dumbfound us sometimes, but the things that we're being told, there wasn't Nolan. So please keep us in your prayers, keep him in your prayers. And we're going to keep pushing and fighting until we find answers. Thank you guys for your love and support.
You guys keep saying the volume is low. I've already said turn up your volume. This happens in press conference.
Thank you so much.
You have to turn up your volume.
Christine and
That's why you have one. Turn it up.
Christine and 𝐿𝐻𝐺 Nolan's mother and father. Before we start to go over the preliminary findings from the independent autopsy, we will hear from Attorney Lisa Park to tell you about who was the forensic pathologist who conducted the autopsy. Attorney Lisa Park.
Thank you. Dr. Roger Mitchell could not join us today, but we felt it important before we reveal and unfold this report that you understand who conducted this autopsy. Dr. Roger Mitchell is a physician and board-certified forensic pathologist with 2 decades of experience. He currently serves as the president of the National Medical Association, which is the oldest and largest group of Black physicians in the U.S. Most recently, he also served as president of Howard University Hospital, chief medical officer of the Howard University Faculty Practice Plan, and chair of the Department of Pathology. Before joining Howard, he served as chief medical examiner for Washington, D.C. from 2014 to 2021, and later as interim deputy mayor for the Public Safety and Justice. Dr. Mitchell has conducted and managed thousands of autopsies and is nationally recognized for his work at the intersection of medicine, public health, and justice. For this case, we sought out the very best, and we are proud to be working with the very best.
Thank you, Attorney Park. I again want to express our gratitude to President Johnson, Chairman Russell, and the NAACP, because civil rights is more important than ever in the United States of America today. And so we thank you for the civil rights leaders stepping up to say that our children's lives matter now more than ever. And I want to thank all of you for getting up 8 in the morning. If people could see how many people are gathered here, they would say, you all are truly blessed to have the support of America, Christine and Elmore. And I want to thank the media for covering this matter, because they don't always cover when our children are taken away from us in highly unquestionable ways. And I do understand there's a lot of news going on in America today. I woke up to them saying LeBron James is going to announce where he's going to play basketball next year. But I'm very happy that the media said this story is just as important. And I'm sure LeBron James and Rich Paul and Stephon Curry and Draymond Green, Jaylen Brown, Embiid, Maxey, Giannis, Bam, and many other players in the National Basketball Association will all agree that our children's lives are far more important than where LeBron or any other player will play next year.
And so that's why I thank you all for being here, because this news is as important as any news in the United States of America, finding out why is Nolan Wells dead. And I want to thank you all who have called the call center. I want to thank Reverend Al Sharpton. I want to thank Mr. Tyler Perry. I want to thank Mr. Terry Owens for putting up the $125,000 reward for anybody out there who have information so we can get to the truth of what happened. I mean, any videos, we've gotten so many videos, President Johnson, from that day from young people, and we want them to have the courage to come forward with the pictures, what you heard. I know people said there were a lot of disturbances out there. Some believe it involved Nolan. All of those things are important to get to the truth of what happened. The fact, Christine, that the United 𝐾𝐲 are so forthcoming. The fact that they told us, we haven't heard from any of their local officials, that Nolan was found face down, fully clothed. Well, that's significant to us because the last time we saw him on the videos, he was without a shirt. So at what point did he put on a shirt? Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. There were almost 300, 400 people. Somebody knows something. So, Scott X, we're trying to just make sure people understand that you can call the Nolan Wells tip line. At bencroft.com, we will gladly listen to you, take any information as we try to put together this puzzle of what happened to Nolan Wells. And today, we're going to add some more parts to this puzzle because my legal team and I, we stand for truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. We stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or it acquits. Yeah, and we stand for transparency because we got eyes that can see, and we don't need government officials having to narrate it for you and me. We can see it for ourselves. Transparency. That leads to the truth. The truth is the foundation for accountability and justice. And that's all we're seeking, as Christina Elmore said from day one. So with that, and Christina Elmore, if you all want to sit, we're about to go through this autopsy. I know it may be a little emotional. Thank you, President. As we begin to present the preliminary findings of the autopsy, we want to especially thank Mr. Colin Kaepernick for not thinking it robbery to pay for the autopsy. Let's go.
An autopsy will be provided for the media at press@bencrump.com. And so, Mr. Jones, keep that. I'll read this. So, Dr. Roger Mitchell, board certified forensic pathologist, performed a preliminary report on the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. He conducted and presented this report on July 19th, 2026. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death, undetermined, pending investigation. And we'll explain that as we go through the report this morning. The manner of death, undetermined, pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells, age 18 years old, race, black, gender, male, date of death, unknown. Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings, and this is significant. Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown at this time. He said the body was received after the initial autopsy. He said the body had marked decompensation. He said corona incision of the scalp, brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso, and he talked about the organs being removed, as is common, accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they are dissected and examined. And then they are put back in a bag within inside the body. So when they're buried, their remains will all be with them. But in this occasion, if there's going to be a second autopsy, then the organs are put in the body cavity so the second pathologist could be able to examine the organs as well. Very significant for Dr. Mitchell was that the anterior inner neck structures were absent, not received with the body. And we'll explain that in just a minute. And then it talks about the additional procedures performed during the second autopsy. And we'll go into the paragraphs on that there because he explains it better in his narrative. So where is the first page of the discussion? Not the diagram yet. Diagram on that. So he talks in the preliminary discussion opinion. This forensic pathologist identified several limitations during the second autopsy that create barriers to establishing a definitive cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells. And that's important. He talks about the fact that we didn't get to see the body when it was first recovered.
like the medical examiner working for Mississippi would have said. He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy examination. What he's saying, because the body was so decomposed that you couldn't tell if there was bruises or abrasions on the body when he received it on the 10th of July. For these reasons, additional dissection procedures not performed during the first autopsy examination were performed to rule out potential blunt force injuries responsible for the death. These procedures included facial dissection, posterior head and neck dissection, dissection of the ribs, the pelvic, dissection of the subcutaneous and deep soft tissue, dissection of the back, the buttocks, the arms, and legs. He did all of this to rule out things. He ruled out there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries identified. This was very important because he wanted to be very thorough and very transparent, because transparency is the key to getting to the answers of why Nolan Wells is not with us. So he did that there and was very straightforward, very open, very open. He says, however, dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8-inch focal area of red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlaying the occipital bone. And he talked about how he found red discoloration when he cut open into the back of his head towards the occipital bone, and he saw the red discoloration, and we actually saw the pictures of it. It's significant. You can't help but notice, why is this dark red here in the back of his head? And so he was important to note that in his report. He said that etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlaying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. These findings are inconclusive for perimortem injury due to both the extensive decomposition and the absence of associated injuries. This finding, however, is significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further investigation. It is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed. He said another limitation faced by this forensic pathologist was the absence of the anterior internal neck structures. The trachea and the laryngeal cartilage, the thyroid horn, and the hyoid bone were not received with the body. So he's saying that the throat was not received with the body when he got Nolan Wells' body in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. And so let's discuss that with what he said about that. He said, it is assumed that the initial pathologist retained these structures for additional evaluation. He said the retention of the anterior neck structures during an initial autopsy is a common forensic pathology practice. He was chief medical examiner for 7 years in Washington, D.C. And he said that if they had concern about throat or any fracture or compression of the throat, they too will hold them back. He doesn't know why they held the throat back, but he said the throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation. Remember, it's about transparency. Because the initial autopsy rightfully removed and dissected each organ, there are additional limitations inherent in the second autopsy of Nolan Wells. The most significant of the limitations was the inability to directly observe the airway and the lungs for water and directly observe the stomach for gastric contents. He said it is very significant as to what the initial forensic scientists who got to review the body when it was recovered. We have heard from our call center people saying the body wasn't waterlogged. Well, we need to know those things. But unfortunately, because the body was decomposed and the organs have already been dissected, those are things we can only get from the initial autopsy. So therefore, again, the manner and cause of death is undetermined until further investigation. We are hopeful that the Mississippi Medical Examiner would give Dr. Mitchell an opportunity to see their photographs and their observations to the condition of Nolan Wells' body closer in time to July 4th. That is very important, and we have to continue to demand transparency, President Johnson. In addition, the original toxicology results have not been received at the time of this report. And we continue to wait for the toxicology to come back because, again, that will be part of the investigation into Nolan Wells' autopsy by Dr. Mitchell. It is significant to know that there's many things that go into toxicology that only Dr. Mitchell would be able to opine upon, and medical experts can opine upon. And he feels the proper place to do that is before a grand jury in a courtroom. And so we would hope that the district attorney would present Dr. Mitchell before the grand jury as well. We want all relevant information to be heard by the grand jury. Lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water, lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water with suspicion of drowning, it is important to confirm how that person entered the water. This is the crux of the matter. This information is especially important for those deaths of persons who can swim. As in the case with Nolan Wells, at the time of this report, this forensic pathologist does not know the condition of Nolan Wells. He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water. He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water. He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death. He said, definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out, and let me really call your attention to this. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand, he said based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play. That is significant. With the following questions still outstanding, number one, what were the circumstances that led to Nolan Xavier Wells entering the water? Number two, what was the body position when it was found? We know that a member of the United Cajun Navy said that he was face down and he was fully clothed. Number three, where's there water in the airway? Remember you talked about the lungs and the airways where they fill with water. Number four, is there any evidence of injuries to the anterior neck structure? We got the autopsy without his neck. We got the body without his neck at the time of the second autopsy. Number five, is there any evidence of any intracranial hemorrhage? He said that is going to be very significant. Things that he could not observe at autopsy that the initial medical examiner would have been able to observe. Number six was the composition of what was the composition of the stomach contents? He talks about that being important because when was he found? How long had he been in the water? How long had it been since his last meal? All those things become relevant factors when you're trying to do a thorough and impartial autopsy. And number seven, what are the toxicology report findings? He said the best classification again for the cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells is undetermined pending investigation. This forensic pathologist reserves the right to review and incorporate additional forensic pathology information into his opinion as it becomes available. He says, the above opinions are expressed to a reasonable degree of medical certainty. Dr. Roger A. Mitchell, July 19, 2026. And we know that, as I said, this is only another part of the puzzle. And even though it tells us significant information, we still have more questions than we have answers at this time. And we will continue to press forward and persist, Christine and Elmore, with getting the answers to these questions. Because as you, yes, we will persist, because as Christine and Elmore and Attorney Parker and I talked this morning, we know that there are so many conflicting stories. The fact that she said him being found face down, the fact that we have other videos where people who have called said that is Nolan who is in some kind of dispute with others. We're looking at all of these things. The fact that the GPS tracking of the boat is being questioned by many. We're trying to dot every I and cross every T, because we understand that when our children's lives are at stake, it matters. Not just what happened, but what we do in the aftermath of them being taken away from us. And just like the NAACP stood up when another tragedy in Mississippi taking the life of young Emmett Till, we will stand up for Nolan Wells. Just like the NAACP and civil rights leaders stood up when another Mississippi son was taken in Medgar Evers. We will stand up for Nolan Wells. And just like too many of our young people, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Terrence Crutcher, Stephon Clark, Sandra Bland, Atiana Jefferson, Alton Sterling, Eric Gardner, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, the young people who I was trying to focus on. Gary, we stand up until we get the truth, until we get justice for Nolan Wells. 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 We will ask if Christine and Elmore and President Johnson can come back and join us on the stage, and we will have you coordinate questions and answers for us or President Johnson or Attorney Park and I. I will say this: as President Johnson comes to the stage, I was sharing this with him and Chairman Russell, Christine Clark. God knows we wish we had you at the Department of Justice now. Christine Clark. As I was sharing with President Johnson and Reverend Al and others, this is so important that we continue to talk about Nolan Wells and what happened to him, and that we get attention on him, because in getting attention on him, it brings attention, Cliff Jones, to other cases that are not getting their attention as of yet. But I'm so grateful to Christine and Elmer, because they said whatever we can do, not only to help our son, but to help these other young black boys who was killed the July 4th holiday. And I want to take a moment before we answer your questions to talk about two other young black men, both 18 years old, who were killed in extraordinary ways that are very similar to Nolan. President Johnson, 18-year-old Daniel 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿 went on a fishing trip, out on a fishing boat with two other young men. He was the only black. It is alleged that he ended up accidentally drowning, but his two white friends got his cell phone and threw it away, got his clothes and threw it away, and then went and deleted all of their text messages with him and social media. Sounds familiar? And they've only been charged with tampering with evidence. And his mother is crying out that they should be charged with murder, because if they would lie about his cell phone and his clothes and deleted messages, then they will lie about what really happened to Daniel 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿. And then there's the matter of President Johnson, Christine Clark, of 18-year-old Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, on 4th of July, was at a house party with about 10 other people. He was the only black person at the house. He somehow ends up shot in the head, dead. Some of the friends get rid of the gun. The police show up. They tell the police it was an accident. It was an accidental shooting, that they were playing Russian roulette. And Tyler Smith ended up getting killed. And apparently, Christine Clark, President Johnson, the police just took their word for it. His mother and grandmother are incensed. They asked the police, did you do a gunshot residue test on his hands? And the reason they said they had to call us, like Daniel 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿's and Nolan Wells' family, because the police told them, President Johnson, that there was no need to do gunshot residue on his hands or any of the other people in the house, because I don't understand this logic, but they said if they were playing Russian roulette, then all of them would have gunshot residue on their hands. So we don't need to do gunshot residue tests. It makes no sense whatsoever. So they're taking the word of these 10 people that your son just killed himself. And you don't have to worry about doing any investigation or testing forensically anything. Just take our word for it. Now, can you imagine in any three of these scenarios, had the survivors been young black men and they were a young white man and he ended up dead. What kind of investigation would that have been? What kind of interrogation would that have been? Would they have ever been able to see the light of day until those questions were answered? Well, just like you would do a thorough investigation for your children, we want you to do a thorough investigation for our children. We don't want anything special. We just want equal justice. Equal justice. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Trevon to lead us in the final session.
Well, a few questions. We have my colleagues on either side with microphones. Please announce your name and your media outlet if you have any questions. We're going to be quick because we have other programming going on in real time. We'll go here first.
Hi, everybody. Samantha Chapman, ABC7 Chicago. You just unveiled a comprehensive outline of the independent report. Can you summarize for our viewers? Because there's a lot to take in, a lot of information. So in summary, can you succinctly tell us what we can take away from this report? And also, if you can provide more details about the NEC.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people behind me gasping when that detail was mentioned.
Yeah. Let me try to be very comprehensive. As Dr. Roger Mitchell said, that the focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region, is significant because he cannot determine why you have that red discoloration in the back of his brain. That's significant. He also talked about, Mr. Williams, just the fact that as it's common practice, he was missing his throat when they received the body. And he wants to know why they held it back. He's not drawing any conclusions, but he said he would want to examine it if there were neck fractures or compressions to the neck. And he thinks that's significant to know at autopsy. The reason he says he would hold it back when he was medical examiner because he thought that there may have been some issues with neck fractures. The last thing that is significant is what we said before about him, the condition of his body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or unconscious? Was he forced or unforced into the water? He said those things are very significant. But he started off talking about this red discoloration in the back of his head is something that was of great concern to him. Thank you.
We'll go here.
Daryl Denard with Chicago Speaks on V103. What specifically are you calling for from Mississippi authorities in terms of transparency, but more importantly, investigations?
And I know President Johnson is from the state of Mississippi, and the Mississippi Conference president is here. They're calling, as we are, for a fair, impartial, comprehensive investigation. When Nolan's parents heard the sheriff say there's no foul play at the beginning of the investigation, that is cause for concern, major concern. You haven't even investigated, but you're saying no foul play. And so we want them to dot every I and cross every T. You know, we had a meeting with the district attorney, and we expressed to them about our lived experiences. The fact, and you know, they said that's not what happens in her office, but we said we believe if the roles were reversed and there were 3 young black 18-year-olds and there was a white 18-year-old who was with them and he ended up dead, we don't believe that those young black men would not have been interrogated to the full extent of the law. We believe that it would not have been a choice whether they were going to cooperate with law enforcement if their lawyers and them were going to cooperate. No, they would have been held until they gave answers. They would have been held until they explained the cell phone in their possession. They would have been held until their cell phones have been examined. And so whatever you would do, had the roles been reversed, we want you to do the same thing for Nolan Wade.
We have time for one more question, and then we're going to have a prayer with our Religious Affairs Committee with the family. One more question here. What's it?
I'm Tiffany Walden with the Charge in Chicago. I know that we're talking about a transparent investigation, but for families and people who are watching, can you kind of give a breakdown or a timeline to the best of your ability of the contact that you've had with Mississippi authorities or Ocean Springs authorities or the Cajun Navy? Have you all talked to them? Do they call you after the initial autopsy? Is it just radio silence from them? Do you have to call them? Can you kind of walk us through that process?
The last time we actually spoke with local authorities, which would be the Sheriff's Department, was I think a day or 2 after his body was found. That was only initiated by me. I sent him a text message. I was like, hey, this is Christine, Nolan's mom. I just want to see if there are any updates. Basically, he called back. There were no updates. He's like, we're still interviewing. And again, my concern, and also my husband's concern, was it was not even an hour that his body had been removed. And the sheriff came out and said, this is, accidental drowning. We don't think there's foul play. Again, that is why we're doing what we're doing and why we're moving the way we are. Because I sat there and asked them, please take this case as if this is your child, your family member, your whatever. And they promised that they would, but when you make statements like that straight out the gate, that's an issue. We did meet with the DA. She did promise, transparency and all of this, all of that. However, damage has already been done because now that's the narrative that's being pushed by the general public, who again, know nothing really, only what they're hearing from other people. So in addition to that, it's all these things coming up. And at the end of the day, like I said before, any parent that would be in this situation, you would do anything to find out what happened to your child. And that is what we're here to do.
It is very important to note that this narrative, this suggestion that it was an accidental drowning, nothing to see here, is troubling, even if that's the case. There were 300 to 400 people out on Horns Island. You mean to tell me nobody saw anything? Nobody can tell us anything about what happened to one of the few black people that were out there on that island that day? It just doesn't add up. The fact that they're saying Nolan said that he would stay behind, but yet an 18-year-old kid would not want his cell phone if he was going to stay behind. The fact that, you have the young lady saying that he said he was going to get back on the boat with the boys, and then the boys saying no, he said he was going to stay behind and talk to her. If that was the case, don't you believe Nolan would have said, give me my cell phone, I'm going to stay behind. Give me my car keys, I'm going to stay behind. It's not adding up. And so we're going to keep fighting and digging until we get the answers the transparency, the truth, the accountability, and justice for Nolan Wells. 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 Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells. We're going to have our Religious Affairs Committee join us quickly so we can have a quick word of prayer with the family, and that will conclude our press conference formally.
Good morning. It's a good morning in spite of all that we have heard. It's a good morning because we're here for justice. I'm Reverend Wendell Anthony from the Detroit branch and also a member of the National Board of Directors and part of the Religious Affairs Committee, joined by colleagues who are here. I'm going to ask all of you, if you would be so kind as to just link arms. Just link arms so that we can link ourselves around this particular moment and around this family. There's an old African proverb that says, those whom we love die only in the physical sense, but their spirit continues to live on in the will and determination of those whom they leave behind. Mr. and Mrs. Wells, I did not know your son, but I could tell from just looking at his photograph, I can feel the aura, the joy that you talked about. We all can experience and feel that. Ben Crump has chronicled the list of pain moments in our community by the deceased, by those who are now martyrs. We have been dying since 1619, still seeking justice. Pray with me. O Lord, our Lord, how very excellent is thy name in all the earth. We are here for but one reason: to answer the question, what does the Lord require of us? But to do justice, to love mercy, to even walk humbly with our God. Lord God, your people are here seeking justice. We're here for transparency. We're here for truth. You who are the way, the truth, and the life. We're here because of you. Lord God, how long must we continue to pay evil a toll at the gateway towards justice? How long must we see our children lie bleeding in the streets, in the sand, in the water, and the asphalt pavements of this nation that we built, even on July the 4th, a day that serves a lesson in mockery and dichotomy, where we talk about independence, yet we are not independent from those who seek justice. Help us, Lord. Bless us right now. Bless this family. Cover this mother whose tears fall down her cheeks. Cover this father as he remembers his son, whom he taught, whom he mentored to play in life, but more importantly, to play the game the way it should be played in living. Lord God, we thank you so much. We've gone down the road. They lied on Martin. They lied on Medgar. They lied on Malcolm. But more importantly, oh God, they lied on you. You who know about lies. We know that the truth shall eventually set us all free. Help us to get the truth, even in Mississippi. Oh Lord, help us to get the truth for our children. You know, like we know, there are more black boys in school than are in jail. We know, oh God, that there are more of us who are striving for the benefit of life rather than the poison from living. Oh Lord, how long will justice continue to lift up her brow so that she can see who is standing before us, so she can make a decision that is not in our interest, but in the interest of those who seem to be different from us. Help us, Lord. Don't we as a people bleed like everybody else? Don't we as a people need comfort like everybody else? Don't we as a people need justice like everybody else? Don't we as a people feel the pain when our children are taken from us like everybody else? Help America, Lord, because America has a problem. We don't have a problem. America has a problem. Fix the problem. In 250 years, we still seem to suffer from the same old problem. Fix America, oh God. Fix justice, oh God. Fix us, oh God. Fix Mississippi, oh God. Fix those who are standing at the gateway to break open the doors for justice. Not just us, but justice. Help us now, Lord. This is our prayer. This is our plea. As we seek that which you have the power to give, and that is justice. The just shall live by their faith. The just shall live by their faith. And oh Lord, we know that when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Let's win in the name of justice. Let the people who love God, who are called according to his name for every good purpose, who believe in justice, say amen. 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 Now give justice our hand praise. We praise God for justice. God bless you. President Johnson, I want you to know, and those who are here, there are 12,000 people who are looking at this press conference on YouTube. That was 30 minutes ago. There were 14,000 people who are looking at it on the roofs. That was 30 minutes ago. And from this ain't no secret. The nation is looking for justice.
For media who would like a digital copy of the report, you can look at bitpub.com, and we should have a digital copy there. You can also contact Saks Media.
Okay, guys, let me start reading some of your super chats. Of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Enable your bell notifications because we will go back live again today. Now, I said this over and over. Whenever there's a broadcast, you have to adjust your own volume. I can turn it up as high as I want on my end. That does not impact you. You have to adjust it. Generally on broadcasts, the volume is reduced. I don't know, but I actually had it on my cell phone, both my cell phones, and it was louder there. So that's just how it is. Now I'm going to read some of your questions, but let me kind of, tell you what I think. And I've taken notes. I feel like he was hit in the back of the head. I feel like they intentionally did not send that structure for the back of his head, because then they would have been able to rule out that he had blunt force trauma to the back of the head. His throat. They didn't send that either. How do you rule out whether he was choked? They needed that. They did not send it, okay? His stomach, they didn't send that either. How do you determine if he drowned? You would have to have the confines of his stomach. They didn't send that. So it seems like based on the stuff that they didn't send, we know what happened to him. We know he didn't drown, and it feels like he was hit in the back of the head and or possibly strangled. That's what I got. I don't know what you guys got, but let me read some of these super chats and then we can get back into it. Lisa and Nat, thank you for the 200 gems. Sandra Ellison, thank you for the 440 gems. Katrina Smart, 3278, thank you for the 10 gems. I think I read that one earlier. Yeah, I read that one, so I'm not going to read that one. But I'm going to thank you for your membership, Claudia Ashbury. And actually, wait a minute. I think I got some of these mixed in here. Okay. Big Wheel 338834. Thank you for the 10 gems. We got Phyllis Brown 6916. Thank you for the super chat of $2. K Michelle, thank you for the 10 gems. We have Picture Man 63. Thank you for the 30 gems. Uncle Alert, Meb 777. Thank you for the 440 gems. And Jesse 89433. This is medical negligence. From the first pathologist, I'm disgusted as a fellow physician. And I feel like I'm not a doctor or anything, but I do have common sense. How conveniently the things that they did not send along with his body were the things that he couldn't rule out. So just so you guys know, the reason that it is ruled undetermined is because he did not have the body parts to go along with the things to be able to make an absolute conclusion as to what happened. And I feel like they took out those things strategically and for a reason. The only way he would be able to, review those things, the throat, the back of the head, the stomach, is they would have to send that along. Now, one of the things that, was stated in this press conference was his body was decomposed. And the thing that I learned with that is that his body was decomposed so bad is that he could not even tell if he had any physical scarring. Yeah, turn it up. I mean, thank you for the 800 gems, but I'm not at your house, so you got to kind of adjust your own volume. I kind of talked about that. J Love 4720, thank you for the 30 gems. Nicole Johnson 4491, thank you for the 10 gems. Lisa, thank you for the $9.99. You are my favorite creative content creator. No one can hold a candle to you. I wish you nothing but the best and never change. Love you, sis. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Claudia Ashbury, thank you for becoming a member. Now, for the people that become a member, what you guys will start to see is members only content. Like we just did our first live the other day. Welcome. John Bono, is it Bono? Thank you for the $5 for coffee. Well, how about tea? Because, I don't drink coffee as much anymore. Today, because it was a little bit earlier than I normally start, I was going to get coffee, but I got to be in the mood for it. But I will use that $5. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 30 gems. Is it I don't know what that say. Thank you for the 30 gems. Y'all be coming up with these names. 4128. Thank you for the 30 gems. Deborah Person 2663. Thank you for the 200 gems. Mr. Hot Rod Jr. Thank you for the 440. I think I probably read that one already. Ira Gordon Ivy. She's talking about that crazy guy online, Officer Tatum. Tatum did the same thing when Charlie Kirk got slumped, and Kirk was supposed to be his friend. Okay, so maybe he's just a race baiter, whatever. Some people use, I shouldn't say, well, he does act like a race baiter, but some people get views on rage bait. So anything that's rageful that'll get people to tune in. I don't like that kind of content. Designs Decor 63, thank you for the 200 gems. Keisha Jones, hi Keisha, thank you for the 30 gems. Melissa Merchant, thank you for the 10 gems. Valerie Julius, 2 gems, thank you. Nikki that one, thank you for the 30 gems. Kimmy, thank you for the 10 gems. Miss T 0382, thank you for the 350 gems. And then we got Pretty Rasta, thank you for the 2 gems. And Identify, thank you for the 200 gems. And then we have Diva 19, thank you for the 10 gems. Okay. And then we got, I think I've read the other ones. Yeah, I've read the other ones. All right. So what do y'all think as it relates? I mean, I pretty much gave my take on this. Carmel Shell, thank you for the $2. Lakeysha, I think they didn't send the lungs either. Okay. I got a list of stuff that I was writing down, but what I ultimately came to the conclusion of, and I'm going to go back later and watch that video, because basically what I learned is the things that they did not send along with the body made it very difficult for a determination to be made. Basically, what he said is it's undetermined because these specific body parts were not included with the body. And because they were not they were not included with the body. And because they were not included, it's very difficult for them to make a determination. But here's the deal, though. They knew what they were doing when they did it. I guess I don't understand, why are they still holding on to body parts? Why are you still holding on to body parts? Why haven't you concluded this? I feel like they did this purposefully. That's what I feel. I feel like they did this purposefully. Yeah, it definitely was foul play. While they think that not sending this information gives them the opportunity to paint this narrative that he was drowned. Well, if he was drowned, then why haven't you wrapped up your autopsy, and why haven't you said that that is the manner in which he died? Why are you still holding on to his organs? Why are you still holding on to his organs? That doesn't make any sense. His dad actually is a doctor. Dad is definitely a doctor. Yeah, this does not give that he drowned, because if you guys recall, when Ben Crump was going over the autopsy, he also said that because the stomach and the lungs were not provided, he was not able to make the determination if he drowned. They already knew this. So them not sending this along with the body, they already knew what the result was going to be. They knew this already. You have already made a statement that he drowned. So why the hell are you holding on to his body parts? Why are you holding on to his body parts? Exactly. One unique goddess. This is clearly a cover-up. They did not send organs and bones so that the second autopsy couldn't determine anything accidental or murder. Exactly. Because it seems like they have already ruled that his death was of drowning. So tell me, why are you still holding on to his body parts? So let's kind of explain it, because I don't want to be, because I'm sure, you know, you're going to see YouTubers on here lying and creating a whole bunch of videos, okay? So during an autopsy, and Ben Crump said this, you know, because I don't want to give y'all false fake information. I mean, this is a real topic. Remember, I told y'all I stopped talking about reality TV because I was sick of the lies. Now, the reason why they did not, well, let's not say that. So during an autopsy, they do have to remove your body parts. I mean, because they take it out, they study it. The problem here is they should have sent it with the second autopsy. So taking out the body parts is normal, but not sending the body parts, and you know that this body is going for a second autopsy. They did that intentionally. Okay. So just because they took his body parts off, please, y'all, don't start with these lies talking about organ harvesting and all of that. Okay. You don't have any proof of that. Let's not make this even more crazier than it really is. So one of the reasons that the current person that was conducting the autopsy, what he did say is normally if they're doing more research, they would hold on to different body parts. But the issue here is you've already said he drowned. So there would be no reason for you to hold on to anything. You said that there was no foul play and that he drowned. So why would you be holding on to his body parts? That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. So you said criminal attorney needed ASAP. What is a criminal attorney gonna do? As I said over and over again, a criminal attorney cannot do anything. This is a state case. The state of Mississippi are the only people who can issue charges. So you can get a criminal attorney as if you want one, but a criminal attorney cannot do anything. The state are the only people who can issue charges. There's nothing a criminal attorney can do but help a person fight a case, but a criminal attorney cannot do anything. I've said this over and over again. The only people who can press charges is the district attorney. That's the only people. Ben Crump, you guys always see Ben Crump when there's situations where a person has felt as if they were wrong because Ben Crump sues. So unfortunately, a criminal attorney can't do anything, right? Criminal attorneys are for defense, right? So let's say they charge somebody. Yep, go get you a criminal attorney. Guys, I want y'all to understand this. The only people who can do something is the state of Mississippi. The state of Mississippi can bring people in. They can charge people. They can lock them up. I'm from Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, they can lock you up for 72 hours. The law could be changed now. They can lock you up for 72 hours and not charge you with anything. They can lock you up and say, we're locking you up because we suspect that you did something. They can lock you up for 72 hours and investigate it. But in 72 hours, they either have to charge you or let you go. So I just want y'all to know that because you can get a criminal attorney all you want. Deborah Booker, thank you for your super chat. Keysha, I just wanted to thank you so much for all that you have done and all that you are doing. God will bless you and you're going to receive everything that you desire in life. I appreciate it. And like I had, said originally, I like doing this better than anything I was doing prior to YouTube. So yes, I'm definitely where I want to be and I don't get tired and I don't get exhausted. So I love it here. Thank you so much. So just so you guys know, yeah, there's nothing anybody can do but the state of Mississippi. They are the only people who can do anything. Justice for Nolan, Lady P, where did that go? Justice for Nolan, thank you for your $5 super chat. Appreciate it. But yeah, justice for Nolan, because what they did was further confirm the corruption. That's all they did. They further confirmed the corruption. First of all, why do they continue to play with Black folks? One thing we ain't is stupid. We're not stupid. So you think that you send the body and not send the parts of the body that can rule out specific things? So we know he was hit in the back of the head, blunt force trauma to the head. He was strangled and he didn't drown because so really, y'all, what they did was they just solved what we already knew. Okay. Now, unfortunately, They were not able, the medical examiner was not able to tell about the body, like had he, you know, received any like bruising or anything because of the condition. This is what I want y'all to understand. Understand this. A lawyer knows how to cover up a crime. His stepmother is a judge. So this makes sense then. They had to have his body somewhere. You know, the body started to decompose. Oh, and then get into this, y'all. I know y'all saw this. He was found fully clothed. So that leads me to believe he did leave with them and possibly went back to this party. Because every picture that we saw, did he even have on a shirt? So why did he put on a shirt all of a sudden? The pictures that we saw, he didn't have on a shirt. He was fully clothed. Yeah. I was born on the day, just not yesterday. That doesn't make any sense. And these people are so stupid. They are so stupid. Like they are the dumbest. They're the dumbest species known to man. The shit that they say don't even make sense. Every picture we have saw, he didn't have on a shirt. Oh, he was found fully clothed. They so dumb. They don't understand that even makes us further realize that this was a crime and that he was hurt. Thank you for your 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, Alabama. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. So now we know something definitely nefarious here happened. Not sending his body parts. So you think because you didn't send his body parts that we're going to say, oh, well, it's undetermined. Because you said he drowned. So if he drowned, let the autopsy conclude that he drowned. And he drowned, you know, he didn't get hit in the head. He didn't get strangled. None of that happened. He had on a shirt. I mean, I don't think it makes sense to assault somebody and put their shirt on. So it leads me to believe then that his body was returned back to that location as I had originally thought. I don't know anything about the body being decomposed. I can do some research, but if you guys think about it, they claim that on that particular island that they walk through multiple times. Well, they didn't say multiple times, but that they come through in the evening time to make sure nobody is stranded or, you know, nobody stayed on the island. So that is why I believe that his body was placed back on the island. I believe that his body was placed back on the island. They put him on a shirt so when he's found, you wouldn't see the bruises. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Because why did he have a shirt on? I believe now, judging from how he passed away, I think it probably was multiple people, because you hit him in the back of the head, which is a bully move, because if a person is walking away, you run up to him and hit him in the back of the head. Maybe he turned around and somehow he was choked. Again, they didn't provide those body parts, which clearly indicates that something nefarious definitely happened. That's what it seems like to me. You know, the interesting part about all of this is we have not heard a peep. And when I say a peep, that's exactly what I mean. We have not heard a freaking peep. The very people that he was with when he went to Horn Island. But now that we know that this autopsy came out today, guess who decided to go and do an interview? Warren. Warren is not a best friend. Warren is a piece of shit. And I feel like Warren had something to do with his unaliving. Those are just my thoughts. I can feel however I want to feel. And I feel like Warren had something to do with it, because look at Warren now. He wants to speak about this all of a sudden.
Y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students out on the island, women, you probably had alcohol. So y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You know, you guys out there, the friend groups are out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They in a group. I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish.
Y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students out on the island, women, you probably had alcohol. So y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You know, you guys out there, the friend groups are out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They in a group. I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish.
Y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine.
What's the coincidence? Because keep in mind, they spoke on the autopsy results, but he didn't know what they were going to say. How convenient. You have not spoken to the mother. You obviously you didn't show up at the funeral, but you want to bring your raggedy ass to some dude that, you know, run around here not liking Black folks. You want to go to his podcast and talk about this dumbass shit. Make it make sense.
Went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach. And I drove the boat from Fort Bayou boat launch to my buddy's grandparents' house. And that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and
Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm.
Well, the crazy part about this is we knew that it was a whole bunch of people there. That is what everybody has always stated, is how is it that there were so many people there, but nobody saw Nolan? Nobody said that it was just him and Nolan, no, or a few other people. The consensus has always been that there were multiple people on that island. Have you guys saw any videos that they showed of just Nolan and a few other people? If you look at, you know, those videos, you see multiple people out there. You see a slew of boats. You see a bunch of people just having a good time on the water. And again, what people have always stated is, how is it that nobody saw Nolan? No one saw Nolan. As they stated, hey, it was a bunch of people out there. We had multiple boats out there, but yet nobody saw Nolan. Looks like a hell of a lot of people to me. A lot of people. I mean, it's too many to even count. Too many people to have not saw him. And then he was black. Y'all know how they do when it comes to us. They always watching and looking at us. Well, I'm going to go back and watch that video because I believe I heard Ben Crump say that there's something with the GPS. I don't know if we can even trust that. But in this interview that the fake ass friend goes on a podcast with this guy, bullshit ass Officer Tatum, this is damage control.
Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach. And why I drove the boat from Fort Bayou boat launch to my buddy's grandparents' house. And that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who are you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left.
There's so many people that we had to split it up between 3 boats. Yeah, we know. We saw all those people, but nobody seemed to have saw Nolan. Okay. Where's the information on those 3 boats? Police, do your job.
And all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan,
and Wyatt went and put.
What are you guys saying in the chat? What are y'all saying here in the chat? Right. He looks very old. He definitely looks old. I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts? Okay. If you are a member, you can actually come up first. All my members, if you want to come up, you can be first. No one saw him drown, but saw him talking to Katie. That's a good one. That's a good one. Nobody saw him drown, but they saw him talking to Katie. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But if you guys would like to come up, I have put the link in the chat. I want to know what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? I feel like we have already, what we've been doing is coming to our own conclusion as long as it ain't too crazy, okay? We know that they did not include specific body parts when Nolan's body was sent to DC because they don't want us to know that he was unalive, okay? Because if they're going on this narrative that he drowned, okay, send it to the second person that's going to conduct this autopsy. But the fact that you conveniently kept his body parts lets us know that it definitely was some foul play involved, okay? Definitely was some foul play. Somebody said Katie is not real. We don't know. I mean, listen. I don't believe shit they say. I don't believe nothing they say unless they have some sort of proof. Now, if you guys are putting stuff in the chat and you want me to read it, go ahead and super chat it, because I just read random comments. Warren needs a search warrant immediately. Well, the thing about it is, we're on the 22nd, okay? His body was, well, his mother reported him missing at 11 o'clock at night. He was found 2 days later. No search warrants, no taking their phones, none of that was done. And we're damn near finna be in the month of August. This is messed up. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't give a damn who like it and who don't. These people are not gonna stop doing this shit until we go an eye for an eye. Okay? I'm sick of praying. I'm not saying I'm sick of praying. I am not praying for this. I'm sick of this. I'm praying for the family. But listen, they're not going to learn until we go the eye for an eye. Okay? I'm just saying. We're dealing with some very evil, hatred type folks. All of this wanting to be treated right, they don't care. They don't care. They're not going to accept, or they're not going to understand anything until theirs is gone. It is what it is. How do you sit in the face of a grieving mother and sit there and lie and tell her son drowned, don't give her any information, but expect that she's supposed to believe anything you say without any proof? They're not going to respect us until we give them exactly what they put out. Okay? Okay, so Nolan ended up in water. Somebody else gonna end up in it. I'm just saying, it is what it is. That's the only thing that they respect. There's no respect here. Katie did nothing suspicious. How the hell is she a suspect when she simply talked to a boy and took her ass home when her family picked her up? So I feel like Katie was typically what guilty people do. They want you to stop looking at them, so they'll try to throw it over to somebody else. Well, the interesting part, and this is why I say, listen, I don't believe shit they say about Katie, because you were the friends, you kept the phone, didn't tell the mother you had the phone, haven't talked to the mother, went and got an attorney. Don't tell me anything about Katie until we can clear up all these things that you did. Because Katie talking to him will be the same as him talking to anybody. In fact, you know, Katie, I believe she probably is a real person, because she in fact said that, no, he did not come with me. It was more like a high and by situation. And he said, I'm about to get back on the boat with my friends. Now, this is what Katie said. So perhaps she is a real person. Perhaps she is a real person. Let me read these really fast. J. Williams 4480, thank you for the 30 gems. Actually, J. Williams, you sent 2. Okay, J. Williams, thank you for the 440 gems. And I read that. No one saw him drown, right? But everybody saw him with Katie. Yeah, that's crazy. That's all I'm trying to say. Did I read this one? Big Willie 38834. Thank you for the 10 gems. Yeah, I read that. So I dropped the link. If y'all want to come up, feel free to go ahead. You said Katie is a real one. Her sister made a statement. Somebody said I chose to be. I think, you know, we need to start taking the eye for an eye method, because these people hate us. Let's just call it what it is. They hate us. Like, this is crazy. I mean, I don't even have the words for it. You unalive somebody's son, then you take his body parts, you help cover up the whole situation, the entire government. They're gonna be sued up the wazoo. You cannot make a public statement and say that he drowned. So if he drowned, then why are you withholding his parts of his body? Why? You're holding the parts of the body because you don't want a second autopsy to confirm what you failed to do. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this medical examiner. Let me give y'all an update on her. She got a shady record. Give me a second. This lady has a shady record. All right, give me a second. I'm trying to find the information. Give me a second. So this medical examiner for Mississippi, she got a shady ass record. I'm trying to look it up. Just give me a second. Alloy, was it Elover? What is this? Very 33. Altercation. Appears it was multiple altercations fight. What the altercation was about. Thank you for the $10. Who is going to join us here? Oh, Big Will. Hi, Big Will. Can you hear me? Hey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing great, sister. How are you?
I am awesome. So what did you think about the press conference?
It turned out like I thought it would. I'm a Mississippian myself, and this has been going on forever. I lost a friend in the late 90s the same way. They covered it up. We searched for him. We came back and found him. Do your research on the Dixie Mafia. Do your research on the Klan.
You said the Dixie Mafia?
Yes, ma'am. Dixie.
Okay.
Dixie.
Okay.
We're tired. We're tired. And you said some things that really touched me, and we're assembling. Just know that. I want people to know that this is not going, we're not sitting on our hands. As the elder men of this state, we're not sitting on our hands. We're assembling in silence.
And that's what you got to do. That's
we cannot tell what we're going to do.
Nope, we can't tell what we're going to
do. We're tired of seeing our children end up dead. Stop allowing them around these devils. We teach our children to stay out the hood. We teach them to speak properly. We teach them all these things, but we also got to teach them stay away from white folks on water, stay away from them in mountains, stay away from them in desolate areas.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. All of them not bad. I'm not saying all of them are bad.
Right.
But I haven't, in this day, and I'm 47 years old, I haven't yet met one that was good.
Right. I agree. And you know what? It's very important that we teach our children that white ain't right. Like, why do we give our children the illusion that they think that white people is some kind of damn savior? I don't teach mine that. I don't teach them that. I don't teach them that.
That's right. All praise to Yahweh Shah. We got to learn our history, sister. That's what's wrong. We prayed to a fake Jesus forever and got brainwashed, right? So now that we got the real Bible, and then you go to Revelations and found out he was black on Good Times, and everybody took the white Jesus off their wall and put the black Jesus on the wall. I'm just gonna keep it 100. This is our land. We were invaded from the East Coast, from the South, and from the West. In 1775, we lost America. We failed. 1776 is when they took America, and then you celebrate July 4th. Stop celebrating these pagan holidays. We the one taught them how to take a bath correctly. We the one that taught them how to walk straight and not walk on all fours like a dog.
Right.
The Moors ran this land, but we couldn't fight them off. That's why the South is called the French Quarters. When you go to New Orleans, where you think the French Quarters come from? They were invaded by the French. When you go to the East Coast, the Boston, who were they invaded by? The West, who were they invaded by? We've been fighting. We fought them for over 250 years. And then we fell in 1775 because we had nothing left to fight. They fooled us. They tricked us. We started trading with them, helping them because we righteous people. And then they came back and invaded us. So we got to learn our history, sister. I appreciate your content and I appreciate your time, but we have got to wake up as a people. We got to assemble. We got to stop being jealous of one another, and we got to start loving each other and staying righteous to one another and loving and learning our history and teaching our children. And this is not going away. This is going to continue. It's all about what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? That part. Thank you so much, Big Will. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And I have to agree, guys, it's all on us. We got to stop looking to these folks to do something that ain't never going to happen. This ain't getting better. It's getting worse. They are attacking. These are, if it's not children, meaning under the 18, it's young adults. Assemble in silence. We got to do something. Definitely got to take matters into our own hands. Hello, Jacoby. How are you?
I'm good, but yourself. Good morning. So,
I'm good. Thank you for joining.
thank you. I want to add on to what the brother was saying. I'm 44. I'll be 45 next month. We used to have this type of talk when I was a kid, and I live in Portland, Oregon, so that tells you enough there already. But and as time went on, we less and less we start teaching our kids about this, about your surroundings, and just because people smile in your face don't mean that they're your friend. And when you don't teach your children about the rules of racism, you get stuff like this. And I just want to let it be known that this is a reminder that racism has not gone away. And people who tell you, oh, don't talk about race. We don't talk about it, but every time you guys talk about it or something happens, we have to be reminded of it. So I say that to say this: if you guys are in a predominantly white area, you got to show energy that you ain't with the BS,
Right.
and you have to keep your head on a swivel. And a lot of the parents fail to teach their children because they got on this black and brown, we're all in this together, people of color. This was not that type of talk 40 years ago, 30 years ago. It's become that indoctrination of today. And then you get stuff like this.
Right.
And I'll just, I'll land my plane right there.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you for coming up. You have a great day. I agree with both callers. I definitely agree, guys. We cannot look to anybody to solve our problem. Okay. We can't. We got to figure our own shit out. This is affecting now children and young adults. They're sending a message, sitting here lying. You unalive this boy, and now you want to make it seem like he drowned, like he can't swim. His parents have already said he can swim. Why are we even having this conversation? And then to send his body missing things that that an autopsy needs to be able to conduct. Hello. Is it Nisi? You got to turn your volume down. It's echoing.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now, or
Yep.
it's still echoing? It's still echoing.
No, I can hear you now. How are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah, that was a lot. I didn't catch the entire press conference, but I did catch the end when he said what happened. That was a tall tale that we know that they're hiding stuff. But I just wanted to piggyback on what the gentleman caller who just had called had said. I just implore all people who look like me and you to go back and read their Bible. Start at the beginning of the book and read to the end so that you know that we are the people of the book. It tells us in Deuteronomy 28, after verse 15, it tells us about the curses for being disobedient to our Father Yahweh. It tells us what will happen to us if for the land, that we will be carried out as bond women and bond men, and we will go to a land of our enemies. So yes, they do hate us. It tells us that. So we were sent here as a punishment. This is our land of captivity. I'm sorry, they're mowing the lawn. Yes, there were people here before our people was here because the northern kingdom got carried out before the southern kingdom. But you have to understand that when they crucified our Savior, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, that they actually hung him on a tree. It says that in Acts 5:30. That's why we are hung on trees. Our people said, we don't want him as our king. We want Caesar. And he said, do unto him. Yahweh Shai said, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. So that's why we are hung on trees. That's why all this stuff is happening to us, because we are under a covenant with the Most High Yah. The curses of the law have followed us wherever we have went. We have served our time from 1619 to 2019, right? That was a 400-year period. Go read Genesis 15. It's in there. Also, now we're in 2026. That's 7 years. This is the year of it's complete. The time of the Gentiles is over. We are Yasharel. Our captivity is coming to the end. There will be a second Exodus, like the first one. There will be a second one. That's why I implore you guys to go read your Bible. He is calling us to repentance. That's why so much is happening right now. He's trying to open up our eyes. No, nothing is going to save us. Not a vote, not no one. It tells us no one will redeem you, meaning no one will come to save you, but when he sends his son back. We need to get right. We need to repent for our forefathers' sins in our own and come back to the Most High Yah. That's the only way. And he is going to redeem us. It says that in the word. That's all. I'm done. I'm sorry. I was long-winded, but I want the people who look like me and you to know to go get their Bible. And yes, others that accept the true Father and the Son, they will be saved too, just like in the first Exodus. So it's not just us, but he's coming for us. And the ones who cling to us and accept the truth, they will be saved as well. Have a blessed day. Keep doing all the work you do.
Thank you. All right, guys. If you want to come up, I want to hear what you got to say. As it relates to this case. Again, I don't believe shit they say. I don't believe nothing. And this further confirms everything that I thought. To remove his body parts. Well, it's natural to remove his body parts, but as they stated, generally they would send the body. They would send the body parts along in a cavity in the body, which they didn't send it. How do you perform an autopsy with y'all not sending the stuff? Again, I feel like the body parts that they did not send, they didn't send it for a reason. I feel like he was strangled. I feel like he was hit in the back of the head. And I feel like he did not drown. If y'all recall, during the press conference, they said those items were absent and missing from the body. Therefore, they could not make an actual conclusion of death. And what happened? Everything is undetermined. He had a lot of body, his body was decomposed, okay? It was decomposed so badly that the medical examiner was not able to even make out bruising, on his skin and things like that. I think that was done intentional. How in the hell did the body decompose so bad like that? in 2 days. Yeah, something don't add up. Something don't add up. And love, welcome. Thank you for coming up.
Hey there.
I'm good.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, you're live.
Okay, yeah. Now here's a question. The fact that we know some foul play, let's be for real. They say he was fully covered, fully dressed when they found him. Nobody goes swimming or into any boat thing fully dressed, laying face down.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Right. And honestly, when I heard them say fully dressed, you know, the first thing came to my mind is, why would he be fully dressed, first of all, on a beach? Like, I was like, what do you mean fully dressed? So, yeah. But
he had a shirt on. And we know he didn't have a shirt on the pictures and stuff that show. So I have his shirt on all of a sudden. And I believe they did bring his body back and drop him all. They probably hit him in the back of the head with something. And the thing about it is they going to give our autopsy report on what they find. But then again, like I said, we can't trust that lady. We have to, that should be a demand to see pictures and results of what they show. You probably can't trust that. So I think they kept it to hide evidence.
Right. You know what? This is what I think. We have been correct all up and through this point. I feel like the things that were missing were the things that could definitely tell what happened to him. His throat,
his stomach mainly. He might have been poisoned.
His lungs, his stomach were missing. They said that was important to determine, did he drown in the water or was he already dead? They didn't even have that information. He stated that the back of the head, there were bruising, and didn't understand why the back of the head was red. So that gave me the indication that he could have been hit in the back of the head. If you recall, they said his throat, neck fractured, all of that was gone. So you need to make a determination if he was strangled. So why are these things missing? I feel like it was missing because that is what really happened to him. Because they said he drowned. So why did you not send his throat and things like that? What would be the reason to not send that?
They can lie and say they're doing further investigation, like the man said they can go off of that. And
well, yeah, so here's the deal. They can lie and say it, but they have already stated that he drowned. So there would be no need for you to keep any of these things, except you're trying to hide what really happened to him.
Right.
Yes, exactly. They removed
like the mama
to hide.
Yeah, let's come from the get-go. When the police said what it happened before they even autopsy came, or when they even did autopsy, there was already a cover-up. And they're gonna keep it. I don't know if they're gonna reveal it, but they eventually have to reveal it. The man requested usually the autopsy got to come out sooner or later, but then again, we don't know because you gotta remember the Metcalf autopsy never been revealed. They sealed it. Remember, they never showed that autopsy.
Right.
And I don't see how you can get away with not showing autopsy over a period of time or seal it at them and did over deceased over a year. Something not adding up, and I don't understand how the law system works. And I don't understand why the lawsuits ain't came out. I don't even understand since it can't be ruled out why they still have not did an investigation.
Right. So
I have no idea what's going on and how can you make these people do the investigation? Cause I heard it might go to Fed level, which Carlos Morris said it probably go to Fed level, but we don't know how that's gonna work. But he said it's better hope to go to Fed level because he know Mississippi don't have all the evidence and won't show anything.
Right.
And that's just Carlos Morris said, so I believe it.
Right. Yeah. So with the Carmelo Anthony case, in order for them to get things released, they actually think it's going through the attorney general is one thing that they're doing. And then if they don't get, the things that they want, they can do a lawsuit. But you have you're talking about Carmelo Anthony, somebody in jail for 35 years, and you guys still have not released the information. Yeah, that don't make sense.
Right, and that little Ashley, the Ashley Cole lady, she ain't no victim. She should have shut her mouth up. She put us. She made it look bad when she decided to speak up on her son's behalf, which looked suspicious. And now you're telling me you fear for your life. Well, you should have shut up because it wasn't even your business to insert your business into your stepson's business. Put that statement out. Now she one of our people. She claimed that she's people after her. Ain't nobody after her. She just saying as a cop out probably for protection or something. But somebody looking for you, they'll find you.
Right.
You know.
Right.
She was trying to play. She was trying to play victim all of a sudden. We know how that goes.
Yeah, that's what they do
So
best.
Yeah, I don't understand. You know, I'm be real with you. I don't know how patient people gonna be with this effery that's going on. But like people said, somebody said this was California, the streets would be torn down. They don't play. So I don't know how long and this so-called begging the justice system to do right that ain't gonna do right. I don't know how long we're gonna keep tolerating this nonsense. Cause it is nonsense. You know, I don't hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it again. You know, I hate to say it, but the law won't work for you. If it don't work for you, you gotta go another route. You know what I'm saying? People ain't finna play this too much. We ain't gonna be sitting here. I get tired of seeing people going outside begging and pleading the system is not working for. I get tired of this. I mean, then who gonna hold accountability? This administration that we have, they gonna hold accountability? And we don't think so. We hope they do, but under the FBI, the part how it's been ran under this administration, I don't trust it too much either. And the way the everybody watching each other's back in the states like Texas, I'm in Texas, like you got in Georgia, Mississippi, even Florida, maybe Alabama. We know these states govern how they run their stuff,
right?
And I don't know how long why people gonna take it. I don't know if people will start boycott. Like that's some things we could boycott. We hit them in the pockets. If every black person who's a power.
Let me just tell you this. FA pockets. We need to start an eye for an eye. What you do to us, we doing to you. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Of course we go. Of course I'm not saying. Of course I believe the eye for an eye too. You're gonna turn your back for so long because you got to defend yourself. If your government's not defending you, got to defend yourself.
Right.
And that's a part of our constitutional amendment where they got in there unruly government. That was the right to bear arms. That was part of it. To bear arms.
No, I feel like, first of all, we're dealing with people that don't even think we human. Okay, they don't.
That's what I'm exactly.
The governor went on television knowing that this parent is hurting and doubled down. You take ours, I'm taking 2 of yours. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. Nobody. Listen, if you mess with somebody in my house, that's the only justice that I'm seeking. I don't got time for this. That's what I'm doing. So, but thank you for coming up, Andrew. You have a great rest.
I agree. We will have to do something because this is like I said, if people don't see it as a human, don't. So why in the world are we trying to show humanity to the people who not show humanity to us? And I agree. And I think this is what I'm basically says born down to. They don't want to hear it, but also we also get him in the pockets as well. We got NFL stars, NBA players. They can say, "Hey, F this. We ain't going to play. Find a way to make your money." I guarantee you. The white people who like their money, because it's about money and power too. That's also a way of protest. And then they'll start taking things serious. We gotta show them one step at a time. We show them serious, but I think that it hurt too. But yeah, like I said, she should be scared. She should be scared for the rest of her life until we get justice. Everybody who was there should sleep with an eye open. They think they're gonna go and live their life every day, and karma don't come and find them. Karma gonna come and find you. It's karma. What you put out there gonna come back and get you. Some form, shape, or fashion. So if you think you're gonna get away, you can't escape it.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Thanks for coming up. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, if you want to come on up, but yeah, I am tired. I'm exhausted seeing people each and every day all across the world Listen, I don't believe in crimes, but I don't know. These MFers are playing too much. You ain't finna sit up here, ho, and smile in my face after something that happened to my child. You finna feel worse than I feel. I ain't got time for the bullshit. Play with your mammy and not me. Play with your mammy and not me. You know, these people are predators. They're nasty. They're filthy, harming children, young adults. Nolan Wells had a bright future. Carmelo Anthony had a bright future. If you want to come up, hit the link. My husband and I said the same thing, an eye for an eye. Listen, why is Nolan not here no more? This is not, you know, based on what we heard, y'all, we got to use our own critical thinking skills. I feel like he had blunt trauma to the head and he was choked. They didn't provide his stomach because he did not drown. Taya, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I am good.
So there's a couple things, you know, as a mom, in general, it doesn't matter if the kids are black or white. As a mom, you always just have a feeling, and you always tell your kids to just be careful in general, because you never know. And I'm sorry, I was moving some bags around, so I'm trying to catch my breath. I didn't expect you to pick up so quick. But the thing is that I'm not getting is why they are not just being if it's no foul play, right? I would think that they would be in a rush to get this information out as soon as possible. Like that judge, she should have came out like, hey, guys, let's get this investigation going so y'all could exonerate and clear my son and his friends. That's probably the biggest part that is so mind-boggling to me, if there is nothing nefarious happen. I know if my child was sitting around, you know, on pins and needles and everyone's pointing fingers at them, I would be personally calling the detective or prosecutor or whoever's office to say, hey, give these people this information so that they can stop feeling this way about my kid. But the fact that they're hemming and hawing, that's creating the additional doubt. And I really wanted today's autopsy report to like really solidly pinpoint, you know, what happened and what didn't happen. So it was disappointing that it didn't. I understand why it didn't, but it was very disappointing because now this thing is going to drag out.
Right.
Also,
drag out.
I'm sorry, say that again.
It doesn't have to drag out. So they are allowing it to drag out, which again, it means that there is something that they're trying to hide. If he drowned, give them all of the parts that go with the body so that they can do their investigation. And if he drowned, I'm not sure they would come back and say he was strangled unless he was. Something doesn't add up.
And since they're so gung-ho about protecting these boys, that's even another reason that y'all should hurry up and get this information out, because you want to protect them and you want to clear their names.
Right.
So it's just mind-boggling to me. And then the judge, I guess, you know, we can look at that later on down the line, but I'm curious as to whether or not the bar associations should be knocking on her door and investigating, because I didn't know judges can make comments about ongoing investigations. Whether they're assigned to the case or not, I didn't think that they're allowed to you know, make any comments or opinions or whatever on any case, regardless of if family member is involved or not. That's even more reason you shouldn't be coming out making no public statement.
Right. So she can't. Actually, it's illegal. So she has received complaints against her. And I don't know if you're probably familiar. There's a judge, a previous judge on Facebook. His name is, I believe, Carlos Moore. Carlos Moore was banned from ever running for a judge position again in the state of Mississippi, simply because he gave commentary on the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. So hopefully she will be disciplined, but people have sent complaints again on her.
Because actually there's and I forgot her name, there's a judge who oftentimes appears on Carlos King's show with different legal situations, and she always makes it clear that she cannot comment on an ongoing investigation. But what she will do is provide legal information, like as far as, hey, this is what the law is on this, or this, but she will not directly comment on a case.
Right. And see, with this particular case, with the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict, this black judge, I forgot to say that Carlos is a black judge. He was out of Mississippi and he gave his commentary on a verdict. It wasn't an ongoing case. He said because he gave his commentary on that verdict, they banned him from ever being a judge there again. That was pretty hard for commenting on a verdict. I mean, he didn't comment while the case was going on. So something should happen to her.
No, and if you don't mind, respectfully, I'm also going to push back on just the one comment that you made. And that was the eye for the eye part. I totally and absolutely understand the feelings. However, semicolon, I'm a little nervous because of the other part of this that I was thinking about was, hey, is this the match to light the fire? Because I just feel like since those elections, it's been a lot of little stuff piling up to try to lure Black folks out into the street. They already put their little masked men out there calling them ICE or whatever the hell they're supposed to be. And then you seen the hoods marching through Washington on the 4th, I think on the 4th of July, right? So I just want everyone to be careful. I'm not saying we're not supposed to stand up and step up and speak out, but I caution everyone to be careful because I feel like they're trying to lure us out and create a civil war.
Are you Black?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I tell you this, if somebody mess with anybody in my house, it's over with. And that's just how I feel. I don't have time for this. I see this every single day. These people, they don't care. They don't care about us. They don't. Like, this is, back in the days, well, I shouldn't say that. Back in the days, they actually was doing it to children as well. But now we're seeing this almost every single day. There's a lot of cases that I really never talk about because I know if I talk about them, people really won't watch the videos, but there's way more cases than this. You guys only see the stuff that's national, but there's so many more cases. It's so many more. And guess what? Mainstream media will never talk about it.
And that's why I said respectfully, because it's not like I completely disagree. I'm just cautious, nervous, You
got to feel the pain. You got a mother that's burying her son. Like, what's the reward to teach your children to do the right thing when they get taken out of here by some white tea racist pretending to be a friend? Like, what's the incentive? Like, what is the incentive? I said, listen, when I was growing up, I was hell. My kids ain't nothing like that. If you mess with mine, you mess with one of mine, all of yours coming up missing. Each and every one of them, not one, all of them. And I mean exactly what I said. But
I get it because I'm really, really overprotective about mine. And there's a difference being outside of it and being able to, it's a difference when you're in the heat of it.
Right.
Because you're right. Because if it's mine, would I have those same feelings?
And these have organized, though. They have organized and came together to protect evil. It's not like it's one person, a whole system. You have a whole system against a group of people that didn't do shit. All he did was went to hang out with his friends. You didn't even have to like him. You could have said, listen, I'm going to take your ass back home. We ain't messing with you no more. Why did y'all have to unalive this boy and then lie and say he drowned?
And then I also want the cell phone information. I want to know, because they gave us the tracking information of the boat that day. Well, where else did the boat go the day after? The 2 days after? Like, while y'all was looking for this young man, where was that boat? Where were these individuals? Because to me, that'll show if they was back out there to dump the body after they got done doing whatever they was doing, if there was something that they did. Not only that, but they're young. They put everything, they tell on themselves. There's probably text messages. There's some type of data that's going to give us this information, and I want them phone records.
Right. Well, thank you for coming up. I have another person here. You have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Hi, Keisha. How are you?
Hey, I came across a video. I don't know if it's real or not, but it had like a statement from the girl that had something to do with Nolan. Mm-hmm. And basically what she said is the phone was propped up because he records a lot of stuff. And I'm one of those kind of people too that try to record things so I can have that memory and keep that going and all the other stuff. But supposedly she wrote out a statement saying that he recorded his death. And one of the friends saw the camera, well, not the camera, saw the phone propped up because he was just recording a good time. And the good time turned bad. And allegedly, that is why they did what they did with that phone, because that information was on the phone. And with Crumpton,
no, I don't mean to cut you off, but I believe that because did you hear what his mother say? He records everything. He records everything. But this is where it becomes, let me just tell you why that makes sense. What was the obsession with his phone? There was a huge obsession with that boy phone that did not make any normal sense. But in my mind, I kept saying, what did he do, or what did they see him do that they needed to get that damn phone away from him? That was my first thought, because why? Like, why would you need the phone? He could have. Now, who is this person that you're speaking of?
That is the problem. So normally, like when things come up on a video, I record it, but I was kind of like tired and I was just like, I'll just go back and I'll find it. But now for the life of me, I can't remember the content creator that I found it on. So I've been like looking through my history of stuff that I was able to like capture. And it seems like some of that is disappearing too. And I don't know, they tracking a lot of people that's following this stuff. And because they have all this technology now that the government is using, those flock things, those things, they've been recording us and all this other stuff. But the simple fact that they have things that they can monitor, and if they want to get rid of it, they get rid of it. And I've had a lot of times that I've had real good things that I used to post on Facebook, things I used to post on Instagram, things I used to post on Twitter, and everything stopped. They sent me that I was banned from Facebook, banned from Instagram, banned from Twitter, because the things that I've been putting out were real. It was deep, and it's disgusting. At one point in time, I used to follow a couple of people, and they used to have videos of really crazy stuff. Like before all that Epstein stuff came out, I saw all that. I saw and watched them at a banquet eating children, eating grown people that look like me and you, roasting them in an oven, recording.
So you can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm sorry. Well, that's one of the reasons why I got banned, because I was posting out stuff like that. But anyway,
you gotta just say it in a different way.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about the unalive and all this other stuff, because they really are like monitoring everything for a reason. But at the same point in time, we are becoming united, and that is what is scaring them, because the more of us that come together, we're very powerful, and they don't want that, and they trying to keep us low, but we vibrating high because they pissing us off. And that is causing us to start really watching out, to really start putting our money where our mouth is as far as our communities are concerned. But I just came on because I'm glad that that doctor, the medical examiner for the second autopsy, was not there, because they don't need to put all their cards on the table. They don't need to know everything that they know. They don't. They still haven't put out this information about this boy's stuff, and they had his body first, and you ain't putting out nothing.
So I do have a quick question. Now, you said that, so, because I know sometimes that happens to me, like I watch so much stuff that I'll forget like where I saw it. In the moment I like, you know how you watch something on your phone and it'll go up quick and then something else will come and then you forgot. You'd be like, dang, what was I just watching? Now, you said that somebody said that, you know, they felt like he had pretty much recorded his own death. Do you remember if it was TikTok, or do you remember like what app you were on?
It was on YouTube, I believe, that I saw it on YouTube, and I've been going to like Claude, ChatGPT, you know, putting in what I saw, and ain't none of them finding anything other than they're saying, you know, certain things are fake that are being put out.
Well, this is why I feel like there is information that's on the phone, because guess why? That would have been the quickest, simplest thing to refute and say, we looked at all of the phones. That is not true. Why have they not done this? Do you know how easy it is to go to a judge and say, we need to get a court order, we need to get the phones? Guess what that would have done? That would have told them all of the things that nobody else could have said, because you're in your phone. If I show you my phone and you read it, you're going to learn some stuff about me and be like, oh, okay, she doing this. We get the phones. Why are they not doing this? I feel like
but
that
remember,
they're in that phone.
But remember now, Crump said that they have their own outside agencies that are doing a real thorough sweep of stuff. So it's good for them not to tell everything that they know, because them folks dirty. As soon as they find out where they and who they got doing these things, to do a clean sweep of the phone, to backtrack any things that were deleted.
Well, the thing with the phone is that I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm not into technology like that. But from the information that Crump had stated is, as it relates to the phone, the investigation is going to be simultaneously. Like, they're doing their investigation and they're doing theirs, but it's happening at the same time. I don't know when this is going to take place, but I feel like it should have took place yesterday, because I know stuff does stay on the phone. Like, let's say I delete something on my phone, it's deleted, but it's still there for a certain amount of days. It may be 30 days, I'm not sure. But I believe as it relates to the phone, they are doing an investigation, but Crump is not saying, we trusting you all to do it. We need to do the same investigation as you guys are doing at the same time. That was just my understanding of what I heard.
Yeah. So, I mean, the other factor is also that they aren't sharing everything, and they don't need to share everything, because all this covering up and stuff. So they know inevitably it's going to be a trial. Everything keeps coming out that they keep trying to hide. We are in the age of knowing. Ain't no more believing and all the other business. It's knowing stuff. And things are happening for a reason. You know, they keep saying pressure builds diamonds and all this other stuff. And take note of all of the things that are happening as far as natural disasters, and how them folks getting cooked up in the sun. They doing everything. They poking. They doing all kinds of attacks against us for a reason. Understand that reason and understand our power. All this stuff will come to pass, and truth will prevail. I know we done been dragged through the mud and all of that for a reason, for a karmic debt, but universal law is happening, and we just got to keep sticking together and uniting so we can come out on top, because we will, because we the original people. Everybody hate us for a reason. And I sent something to you in the past. I think I probably need to send it to your email, but it's this thing called Memorandum 46. And that was basically done like in the 70s or 60s, I want to say. But basically, it was a document that they all came together in agreement to be against all Black American people. And this is why we have enemies all the way around, because they've been practicing this stuff. And they just wanted to pull it into full throttle to try to make us feel less than and keep us in lower frequency, because they know once we start lifting up, there's no stopping us.
Okay,
But,
well, thank you, Keisha, for coming up. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. I would like to address this comment because I feel like there are so many different avenues for us to look at this case. Can y'all please stop with these lies? Warren's dad is not head of any toxicology department. I understand y'all go to these people on YouTube with half of a brain that just make up lies to create videos. We don't need to make up lies to create videos for this case. It's enough stuff about this case to talk about. That is a lie that's told by the biggest bimbo YouTuber on YouTube. She makes up lies all the time, and it's so irritating that y'all believe this shit. Man, y'all just, I mean, come on now. Y'all got to go on with these lies. I mean, just lies. Woo, child. All right, y'all, I'm about to get up off here because I got to get back on here later after I review some stuff. It's been great. Make sure you guys like the video on your way out. Hype up the stream, and I will catch you guys in the next video or live. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Clear, spilling tea, no fear, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. I don't lies right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. No. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to Lakeysha Keysha, my dear. Yeah. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Make sure you subscribe to the Lakeysha Keysha channel.